Have you ever been in a situation where an animal has been mistreated? I have, and that situation was quite uncomfortable. Hearing the dog cry as he's being hurt broke my heart. Perhaps you may say, well, she must like animals, and therefore that's why she feels that way. But that's not the case. I love animals, yes, I do. But I feel that animals don't necessarily have to be going through these situations. Animals are just animals. They're not human beings like us. But just because they're animals, it doesn't give anybody the right to mistreat them. I am glad that here in the US we do have what it's called the animal rights, and these rights protect these types of animals. There are so many organizations now that have come together to be able to help these animals in need, animals that have faced situations where they've been mistreated by their owners, or even perhaps, you know, have been abandoned in a unknown area. Daily, animals are being mistreated and killed by their owners. Unfortunately, they die because they're also being neglected, and these owners do not provide food, water, a shelter, and most of the time they don't even provide, veterinarian care. Some countries don't believe in animal rights. Some countries believe that animals don't have a soul, that animals are just animals, and because they're your animals, you have the right to do as you please. In some places, they torture animals like cats and dogs. They literally boil them alive, and after that, they eat them. That is like so inhumane. I mean, I just try to picture that, and just from the images that I saw through the research, I wouldn't want to even consider, being in a situation where I were to witness something like that. Um, Another thing too is that scientists use all kinds of animals to test on. There are millions of animals right now in cages. They're just waiting, to be tested on. According to PETA, 100 million rats are killed in the US. And I feel technology is so advanced nowadays that there is no need to use animals in order to test a certain medication, to heal any kind of sickness or disease that's now, that's it during these times. Um, Animals are also being used as entertainment in zoos, circus, water parks. These animals, most of the time, are being tortured by their trainer. Um, Basically, they have to be mistreated in order to learn new tricks. And we don't stop and think about things like this when we go to the circus, when we take our kids to, the water parks and look at different animals doing certain tricks. We think, wow, that monkey is so smart. But we don't stop and think and for a minute realize that maybe this animal's it's being tortured, and through all that torment, now they have learned that trick. You know, Other animals don't necessarily suffer um, physical um, torture, but some of these animals, go through the emotional pain when they're being separated from their families. And at times, their stress, their tension, their sadness, they take it out on the trainer. And unfortunately, there's been times where, they'll kill their trainer because they're just so desperate, or they'll even kill themselves. They'll hit themselves on the head. Um, Animals are being also considered, some animals are being considered extinct. We ask ourselves, well, back in the day we used to have this animal. Back in the day we used to have that other animal. But We don't realize what is the reason why these animals are no longer in our society, or why some of the animals are to the point where they're being extinct. Well, unfortunately, um, humans at times consider them to be a threat, and they kill them. They feel that if they don't kill them, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna create some sort of problem, and they're looking for their own, for their own benefit. And there's other times where us, as humans, also use the pesticides. Oh, well, we don't want, so and so animal to be around, so we use the pesticides, and we killed more than what we expected to. Um, Nowadays we also see that fashion plays a big role in our society. Women like leopard, they like, the cheetah print, and not everybody can afford the fur, the actual fur, but just the fact that they're advertising it, those that are able to afford it, they go through that extra step, and they're using, the animal fur to, fulfill their needs or their desires when it comes to their fashion. They want to fit in. They want to be, the center of attention. They want people to be jealous of what they're wearing. And so they go through all this to get the coats, to get the hat that they want, etc. Um, as you can see, animal rights play an important role in the life of the animal. It protects them from cruelty and protects them from science, or entertainment, or being extinct. You perhaps may say, well, she probably doesn't believe in eating meat at times. Well, I can tell you this. It's not that I'm against, some animals being killed for to fulfill our needs as far as our you know our health goes. But what I'm against is the fact that these animals are having to are having to suffer for a long period of time. I don't believe animals should suffer, whether they're being tested on, whether whatever the situation may be. I feel that these animals should have the right to, you know, not being hurt, just like us humans have that particular right.